Welcome back to the garage. This is the final video, hopefully, on the KX250F. I'm sorry. This looks like a pretty nice bike. The customer finally brought me the bike, and you can see here that he did put the lower end in. Basically, just put the motor mounts in, and I think he hooked up the stator and the neutral safety. The clutch cable looks like it's also on there. So it's a lot to do here. It looks like they took the foot brake off, kickstarter's still off, the shifter lever's still off, obviously the radiators are off, the plastics, the tank, all that good stuff. So this is going to be a little bit different for me because I didn't take it apart, so I don't really know how it goes back together. So it's going to be trial and error. I mean, basically all these bikes are kind of the same anyway. I'll figure it out. This bike is fuel injected, and hopefully we do have some plugs that are empty here still. This one's empty, that one's empty, this guy right here is empty. Hopefully we'll figure out what plugs in there. I'm assuming the tank, the fuel pump on the tank plugs into one of these. That might be a sensor. One of these is fuel pump tank. I'm going to say that probably goes to the fuel pump in the tank. One of these is probably a temperature switch on the radiator, and another one is probably a sensor in the motor to regulate fuel. I'm not sure, but I don't know what that is. I have no idea. We'll find out when we start putting it together. But the engine itself is in there, and I don't think he left it outside, although the engine does look pretty dirty. There's some dirt on there. It's been, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's pretty dirty. I don't know, he might have left this outside. It's been a while since he came and picked this up, this lower end, so it's been sitting around a while. There was some rags stuffed in here, and I took them out. I know I put a new oil filter in here, so that's all set. We just need to fill the bottom end with oil. He brought antifreeze and oil. Let's take a look. The box over here. Let's see. He brought engine coolant too. Kawasaki engine coolant and 4-stroke motor oil. All right, so that's good. And these are the parts that he brought with it. Hopefully everything's here. We got the head pipe, the exhaust, side covers, the seat, the 2 radiators, the shrouds. These are all the levers, foot brake, shifter, kickstart. This looks like a crossover tube for the radiators. And there's a bag of hardware here. All right, that looks like the coil. So now I know where that wire went that I didn't recognize, so that must be the coil wire. And I'm not really sure where that mounts to, or why they would take the coil off in the first place. Maybe it was in the way, I don't know. And here's the chain. You guys can see that. And the master link is on there, so that's good. And he brought plastic fastener kit. I guess he wants to put new hardware in the plastics. Oh, that's fork guard plastics, radiator shroud, seat side panels, front fender, rear fender. I am not going to put the fender stuff on. He can do that himself. I'll just put on the hardware for what's been taken off. I'm not going to get into all this new stuff here, changing out all this hardware. He can do all that himself. All right, let's get set up and get going on this. The bike came with a brand new cylinder, and let's go over that real quick. Came with a brand new cylinder, which is right here. So, and brand new Vertex piston. So what we need to do is ring end gap, and we'll start installing. All right, before I start assembling, I just want to show you guys this before I put the rings on it. And this is the Vertex piston. And I used to be a machinist, you know, back in another life. And anyone who is a machinist will appreciate quality machining. And this is no Chinese piece of shit knockoff. This is a really, really nice piston. And from what I understand, Vertex, the factories like Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, they actually use Vertex to make their pistons. They sub it out to them. And this is just a beautiful piston. And it's a shame that it gets hidden inside the motor. I probably said that before, but isn't that beautiful? Water oil is all up in here. The arrow goes towards the exhaust, and it's pretty easy to tell because the intake valves are bigger than the exhaust valve, so really not that hard to tell. Put a little bit of oil in there. We'll stop this in. Nice little bit of lube. I'll tell you, there is nothing better than a new piston. No sir. I don't want to take a chance of that circlip falling down inside the engine. Well, that would be catastrophic because then I would have to take it apart and get it. And we don't want to do that. Alright, circlip's in. Get the rag out of there now. Alright, let's put the cylinder locating pins in. 1, 2. Install the cylinder, and I want to oil this up a little bit because it is super dry. So this thing isn't going in dry. And yeah, it makes it more difficult to put the cylinder on, but in the long run, it's better for a first start. Alright, cylinder's in. Now I'm going to install this bolt right there, but as you can see it's corroded. I'm going to wire wheel it, put Never-Seez on it, and then install it. I'm going to install the chain guide now. And I'm going to need a little bit of a light to do this, so I make sure I get it in its proper spot. There we go. That's in. I always want to oil up the threads and the washer, so when you torque, you get a proper torque spec. And all 4 of these are the same exact size, so, or same length, I should say, so there's no chance of putting them in the wrong hole. Alright, the torque specs on this are 36. That's the torque on the head bolt. But you want to bring them to 18 foot-pounds first and then finish them off at 36. But we want to do it in a crisscross pattern. So I'm going to start here and go there, here, and then there. Now, there's not a lot of room on this bike, so I need to keep repositioning my wrench, which is going to be a pain. Sorry, didn't mean to bump you. That's 18 on that one. 18. Alright, I got 18 on all four. I'm going to move the camera out of the way, finish these off, and come back when I'm done. Alright guys, so top dead center. I don't know if you can see that mark in there. She's moved off a tiny bit. I'm going to have to readjust that. I think I might be a tooth off now. But I do have that mark there, that mark there, that mark there, and that mark there. And as you can see, the lobes are facing intake and exhaust. So that is correct. Let me just bring this forward a tiny bit just to see. All right, that's where it needs to be. And if I push the chain tensioner in, I think we're good. That looks good to me. All right, I'm gonna put the valve cap on and button that up. I'm gonna put the chain tensioner in, but I just want to show you guys this real quick. So once you take the spring out, which is this guy right here, there's no tension on that. So all you do is you just pull this thing forward, and you can just push this all the way in. You let it go, and it's not gonna pop back out until you put the spring in. So now I'm gonna install it. All right, I got everything in. Cams are in. Timing marks look like they're right on the money. We got a mark here and a mark there, mark here and a mark there. And the lobes are going, intake's going to the intake, exhaust going toward the exhaust. Tension is in. At this point here now, I'm gonna pop you in a stand. And what I like to do now is I like to rotate the engine around 360 degrees, I don't know, 2-3 times maybe, just to make sure that nothing's binding, and also that the timing's right. So let's start. It feels like it's going pretty smooth right now. I don't feel anything. Anything binding. Don't feel anything. All right, that should do it. Now I want to put it back on top dead center. Let's move it to that. That's top dead center. And timing marks. Let me get my light. Timing marks are right on the money. You guys can see them. They look good. I think we are in good shape. All right, let's continue buttoning this up. All right, I'm gonna put the top gasket on. I always put gasket sealer around this because I've kind of had 50-50 luck with it. Sometimes they leak, sometimes they don't. Not a ton, just enough so that it doesn't leak. All right, now we're just gonna pop it in. And she will not leak. That I guarantee it. All right. There should be one of these. I'm gonna assume the bigger one. Yep. Put that in there. Make sure it's sitting all the way around. There we go. Looks good to me. All right. Put the bolts in up top. All right, I replaced the O-ring on this. Put the new O-ring on that, so that should be good to go. I filled it with oil. And she went back down again. It needs more oil. I'm gonna put some more in it. And I just want to show you guys one thing. Oh, I got the engine mounts back on. Those are torqued in. I just want to show you guys. I don't know if you can see that right there, but see it? RCB. So what I'm gonna start doing now is I'm gonna start signing the engines that I rebuild, so that one, if anyone ever comes back and says something's not working properly, I can see if it's still my engine. Number two, I just think it's kind of cool to sign the engines that I build. I don't know, maybe I'm corny, who knows. But I picked up those 3 punches at the yard sale. The guy had the whole alphabet, so I just bought the R, the C, and the B. And yeah, kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some more oil in this, and then I'm going to continue to button up. I'm not going to bore you with all the details because it's all simple stuff, but I'll come back and show you progress as I go along. Let's put the coil in. The coil, I'm assuming, was right here. All right, there's the plug. All right, let's plug that in, I guess. All right, I think what I want to do now is I want to plug everything in, see if we have spark. Good spark. All right, where we're at is we got most of it assembled. Fuel injection's on, throttle body's on, everything's tight here. I had to take off the subframe in order to get the boot to get onto it. That's all set, everything's tight. 2 things I just realized. I was putting on some of the stuff. The shift lever, when I boxed this stuff up, gave it back to him, there's a bushing that goes inside of this, and it isn't here. So I know that big air conditioning box over there isn't the box I gave him all the parts in, so in the transfer he must have lost it. As you can see, without the spline bushing that goes inside of here, that thing's junk. And the other thing that we're missing is we are missing the Kickstarter bolt. I got one on here, as you can see though, it ain't the right one, but it'll be good enough to kick it over. But we need to find that. Well, he needs to buy a new one. I don't see anything else missing at the moment, so I am going to continue on, and I'm going to start putting the radiators and stuff on. As you can see there, I'm getting set up for it, and I'll come back once I get that stuff done. All right, guys, we've got it all together, and got the tank on. I don't know if there's any gas in it. Oh yeah, plenty of gas. All right, we got gas, we got everything. I think we're ready for a first start. I have antifreeze in it. I got oil in it. We're gonna have to top them back off after it runs for a few minutes, but I think we're ready for a first start. Everything's hooked up. The exhaust is on. I've had oil in it for a while now and antifreeze, and nothing's leaking. So let me pop you in a stand. We'll throw a leg at this thing and see what happens. All right, what do you think, guys? How many kicks? 2? 3? Not really sure how this fuel injection works without a battery, but I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see what happens. She wants to start. I don't think she's primed. Let me try choking it. Let's see if that helps. Might need to bring the idle up. Again. Not sure how the idle works on this, whether it's out or in. Try going out. Try it again. Alright, the oil level's down. Let me top it off and then we'll start it again. Alright, the oil's topped off, and I think I'm just going to do a heat cycle now. Just bring it, give it a little bit of revs, let it heat up, and then we'll kill it and let it cool off, and we'll do another one. it cool off, and we'll do it again. But in the meantime, I'm gonna clean up. All right, guys, we got a new sprocket to put on here. Let's show it to you first. This is the new sprocket. We gotta pop that on now before I throw the chain on, as the owner wants a new sprocket installed. That's the old one. It's got a bit of a lean to it. Alright, the owner found the little piece that goes inside the shifter. One of the boxes. He brought it over. Let's see if we can't get the shifter on here now. Alright, bike's all done. I just took it for a ride. It runs great. I got all the plastics on it. I just called the customer, told him the bike was done and ready for pickup. So I'll tell you what it had. It did have a bit of a bog, low end bog. It is fuel injection. There's no aftermarket pipe on or anything. Everything's factory. So what I did was I took some MAV cleaner and cleaned the sensor out really good in the airbox, and then I had to adjust the TPS. It was a little bit off, and I think that's what was causing the low end bog, because once I adjusted that, it really cleaned it up. It's not bogging anymore, so she's good to go. And I think that this sensor right here, this is the throttle positioning sensor right here, I think it got banged and slightly moved when they took the motor out, and it just needed to be adjusted again, and that was the problem causing the bog. So now that that's adjusted, everything's good. The bike rips. It's a pretty nice bike, and customer's gonna be very happy with it, I'm sure. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I wasn't anticipating on rebuilding this bike, but I'm kind of glad I did, because I never really never rode one before. It's a pretty nice bike. I don't know if I like this better than the YZF, but or the YZ250F. I think I might like the YZ250F a little bit better. I think they might be just a little bit faster, but this is still a nice bike. Very nice. It rides nice, handles nice. It's got plenty of torque, plenty of top end. It's a nice bike. It really is. All right, so I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed working on it. And hit the subscribe button, share, like, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.